Hey, Iron Man, how you doing? Oh, pretty good. How you doing? Good. Say, I was wondering if I can borrow your car because, well, they're not gonna make the spider buggy anytime soon, and, well, I got a date with Mary Jane. Oh, yeah, sure thing. Go ahead, hop in. The keys are in the car already. Oh, thanks, man. Okay, then. Good luck on your date. Thanks. What was that? Oh, dear God! Spider-Man, are you okay? Oh, my gosh. My car! You trashed my car! Tell Mary Jane, I love her! You're not getting out of this one, Peter. You have to fix my car. You're gonna fix it with me, and you're also gonna pay for it, okay? Peter? Peter? Aw, crud. Oh boy. Oh boy, boy, do I have. Well, I was checking my schedule, and you know what I had to review today? I had to review the Iron Man 3 vehicle. Now, this is the Iron Man 3 Assemblers Interactive Armor System Battle Vehicle. Try saying that 3 times fast. And dear Lord, I am so glad I did not buy this with my own money. This was a birthday gift from my dad, because I wanted to get it, but I actually would have returned this if I paid for it with my own money. Just very difficult to articulate my words with how much this thing was just a disappointment. Anyway, box is, it's okay. It's a standard kind of $20 box. It displays the gimmick, which you can launch Iron Man into battle, the Avengers Initiative. On the back, you have, it highlights the different features such as weapon armor connects to vehicle, other figures in the line, which I have all of them, and it does highlight some of the connection points, except for the 2 on the side, of course, and the bio. When Iron Man needs to get blasted into battle, he rolls out in his result-charged race car, armored and equipped up for battle. This super fast vehicle roars down the road, ready to convert into power energy exo armor at the moment notice. Okay, yeah, so we got a picture of the prototype toy, which is much better paint than the normal one. And, yeah, I do really like the Hall of Honor display on the back of all the packaging. That's just really nice. And you could build 25 other combinations. Yeah. Not really. With this alone. I don't like how they always advertise that. Like, you buy this one and you can make 25 combinations. You need a couple, but you need at least 2. But anyway, here's the vehicle itself. Now, let's just remove all of these pieces here, and we'll talk about all of these later. Something I really wanted to point up with that when I was looking at this, I could really see this in the movie. And I don't mean like this vehicle. I mean this idea. The idea is that basically he can drive in a car and it suits up his armor. It has a copy of the armor inside and just connects onto him. I see that. I could so see that with Iron Man. He's just driving, then he decides to put on his armor, flies out, and has the car on autopilot or something. I could see that. That would be so cool. Now, only good thing about the toy is that it looks nice. I mean, it looks sleek. I like the paint, although I prefer the nice kind of bronze almost paint on the wheels and the more sharper metallic highlights on the prototype picture. But it looks cool. I mean, detailing wise, not a lot to talk about. You have some nice panel lines on the back and on the front. The middle is very generic. The front is generic, although I like the headlights. The sides just have some paint on them, and then the back, it's okay. It's a little weird having the weird paint apps right here. I mean, that's just strange. But anyway, now the gimmick of this toy is that you push the back of this spoiler. This causes the front to open, which will hit a button, releasing Iron Man. So let's test it. It's also worth knowing it's very difficult to push this down without lifting the whole thing up. You need to keep your finger right here. So let's try this. Okay, so we got a first try. That's pretty good. And I say that because it's a little difficult getting him to go. Now, to line him up, you lock his hips in, place them in, push back, and fold this down. Let's try it again, okay? And that's going to be your results most of the time, because this... Let's try again. See, it's not really well thought out of a gimmick, and if you have the arms forward, good lord, you are screwed. Inside, generic. Let's just push them in. Close this. Worth noting is that other figures cannot sit at all in this, because their legs, it won't. War Machine is the only one that could sit in it if his legs weren't so spread out. You see? He could, because his legs actually go up, but these guys, they don't. And their legs are too wide, so he can't sit in. Okay? So yeah, pretty much a fail right there. The actual Iron Man toy itself, dear lord, there is almost nothing salvageable about this toy. I mean, for one, it's pretty big out of scale. I mean, that's a pretty big difference right there. You can unplug the arms; they are on the same connection. And if you give him these arms, yeah, his arms look ridiculously big. And here's the other problem: the way this chest is sculpted. Let's see if I can zoom in. The way the chest is sculpted with this slight, bring the camera in, it pushes this out of the joint. Now, other armors, like this one, I just grabbed one that didn't have the chest problem. Looks perfect. In fact, you could keep going with it, and it won't come out. Plug that back in. Alright, so, yeah. The arms, you can give him these arms if you want, but then his arms look ridiculously puny and just tiny. So stupid. And now, okay. Alright. And now we knock the figure over. And anyway, let's talk about the actual figure itself. Detailing wise, it's pretty bad. Nothing really sculpted, just paint. Front's pretty boring. Back is interesting. Sides boring. Legs boring. Everything about this thing is boring. Articulation, slight ball joint, but it only looks left and right, and then the arms only do 360. And, well, they go out. Now, check this out. Here is the rollerblade panel. Now, this I thought was kind of interesting. Rocket boots, and he can push forward and fly. I thought that the way that this would work is that you can use it with other Iron Man figures. So let's take our Iron Man and arm him, because, you know, he's Iron Man, and he has armor. Haha, bad pun. And let's see if we could get the pegs to line up. And the pegs are dual pegged and too big for the normal figures. So, of course, we can't use these with our normal Iron Man figures, which was the point of the whole gimmick, was interchangeable armor pieces and accessories. Also, the one thing I thought would have been cool is this backpack. I think it looks a little cool. It looks really bulky from here, and if it was flat, it would look really awesome. And I thought you could pull this off and attach it to your other Iron Man figures. But nope, it is permanently stuck onto there. Good luck getting it out. Also, you can lock his hips, and you see this little flap right here near his butt? You have to hit the butt flap so his legs could go unlocked. And you know what? This is just so you can have him spring! Spring! Spring into battle! Dear Lord. Alright. So, we got a car that looks cool, but with a crappy gimmick, and we got a crappy toy with a crappy gimmick. Let's take a look at the Iron Man accessory pieces and see if this is salvageable from it. First, we have the Iron Man cannon. Oh my god! Why is there a disembodied... Okay. The arm switching gimmick makes sense with these guys, okay? So you switch the arms out, okay? I understand. But look at this. This is... Why? I mean, this is supposed to be on a car. The reason I am freaking out about this is because these are supposed to go on the car. You are supposed to have these de-embodied arms all over your car. And they can't even go straight. I mean, with these, you could just kind of get it caught in the grooves here. So they kind of go straight. But otherwise, they just lock into place so they won't shoot straight. This one, you can't. You have to carefully carefully balance this thing, and even then you can't. Also, just worth mentioning, it does mention that you can plug them in on these two ports here, but the instructions and the box, fair to point out, you have them on the sides. Good job. Good job pointing that one out. Took me 5 seconds to realize that. Now, let's see now we have the arms and what they do. Let's talk about the arms detailing and weapons. This one is a missile launcher, and the missile is ridiculously long, to the point where most of the Iron Man figures' missiles do not clip into this thing, even though it's meant so that you can change it. It can only become this arm, and that is way too flippin' big. I mean, like, okay, I like giant flippin' guns. Those are awesome. Giant guns are cool. But when you have something like that's too big like this, I'm not liking it. I just think it's this big flap here that I don't like. Now the other arms become these arms. You have the well, it is a weapon, but the slightly lower weapon standard, which does not hinder articulation. Oops, I'm sorry. It doesn't hinder articulation until you push it and it pops out. This one hinders articulation a lot because it hits the backpack, and guess what? It's going to come out. So, you got this one, which admittedly looks kind of cool. So, detail. Okay. Then you have this arm, which looks awesome. Really cool. Same problem. The big thing here bumps into there, and I have to put it forward because otherwise it'll bump into the back, and I can't actually bend it forward. Now, you can, of course, use these with your other Iron Man figures, except the arms look way too big. Not way too big, but the proportions seem very off. And, just like the normal pylons, when you use it with this armor where the paint scheme matches, it pops out. Ready? See? Pops out, right there. Really? I mean, you guys seriously didn't have enough forethought to take into consideration your extra vehicle accessory pieces? That's just sad. You know what the worst part is? I think this had potential. This had a lot of potential. A lot of potential. They could have taken this arm, which, quick look at the detailing, make this a plug. I mean, have it clip into these pegs. Right here. There you go, problem solved. This arm, I kind of like the look of it. I'm a little torn only because of this giant flap in the front right here. But, yeah, just have it peg onto the arms. Give him normal flippin' arms. Make his arms normal arms. Okay? You could have just given us, look, give us the exact same arms as this, but with slightly different molded hands with the peg so we could peg in the guns. Then make him smaller so he fits in scale with your other figures. And you make these not stupid double pegs, but you make them just the normal pegs so you could use this with other Iron Man figures. In fact, why aren't you even lining up with this figure? The backpack, make the backpack removable. Slim this down so it's just this slim, so you don't have to bulk out of it. And you could remove it, and it pegs into the back of the figure's peg holes on the back. That way you can have your figures actually use the backpack, which I thought looked really cool. Okay. Yeah, screw it. I really was disappointed with this toy. This toy really disappointed me. I had a lot of high hopes for this toy. My dad actually told me that it looks like a horrible toy, son. You sure you want this free? But I was like, yeah, Dad, I have faith in it. I have faith in the toy. And you know what? I got screwed because this is a pretty poorly done, horrible toy that I can't believe I got. I'm just glad my dad bought it for me as a birthday gift instead of me spending $20 for this thing. I am warning you guys now, do not buy this toy. The only way you could buy this toy is you're a completist, or perhaps that you like the design of the toy. Now, I will admit, I like the design of the car, but the way it executes its gimmick and ideas are poorly pathetic, and I hate this thing. Wow. Did I just turn into the plastic addict? Hope you guys enjoyed the review. You can get me on Facebook by going to the Facebook page, and you can follow me on Twitter for things I review. You could even vote on stuff that I review because I upload pictures of stuff I buy. And I'll see you guys later, some more reviews. Till then, adios.